The Legend of Galloper Thompson, Linda's story. A Star Stable short story, part of the Soul Riders series. Written by Helena Dahlgren. I see the horse first. Massive and black, glistening in the night. It gallops straight toward me. The horse's mane is a vivid golden red. In the light from the jack-o'-lanterns, it burns like embers. The pumpkins are everywhere out in the field. Like grinning skulls, they gang up on me in the dark. Some of them are grotesque, overgrown, others tiny. But they all grin at me. The sky is pitch black, starless. No moon to guide me tonight. I try to run, but I keep falling over. My legs are numb and feel strangely heavy. Enormous hooves crush the jack-o'-lanterns against the ground with a wet, smacking sound. The sound travels nearer. I think it's right behind me. Now I see that the horse has a rider. The rider's clothes are as black as the night sky. I squint, struggling to see more, but the darkness of the night makes it difficult to see anything but the black, empty sky. The hooves echo like thunder, faster and faster, closer and closer. Without the moon, I'm paralyzed. There is nowhere to run. It isn't until they are right next to me, so close that I can almost feel the hooves touching me, that I realize where the rider's head should be, there is only a void. More darkness. Slowly, the world returns to me. The dream fades one layer at a time. I see piles of books, specks of dust on the worn linoleum floor. My hand trembles as I hold it up in front of me. It's late, and I'm the only one left in the school library. The jack-o'-lanterns are just ordinary lamps, and the headless horseman is gone. It was just a dream, I whisper to myself. Just a dream. That's right. It was just a dream, but not any dream. The last few days, I've had the same dream over and over again, and it always ends the same, with me alone in a field of bright orange jack-o'-lanterns, the headless horseman charging at me. I call it a dream, but deep down I know that it's something else. A vision. Something that will actually happen. It's this ability I have, to see into the future in tiny little fragments. I see things that will happen, but also things that might happen unless we do something about it. By we, I mean my friends, Alex, Lisa, Anne, and me. Together, we are the 4 Soul Riders. As I lean back in my chair, I think about what the dream might mean. Tomorrow is Halloween. The dream definitely has something to do with Halloween, but what can it be? Will I meet the Headless Horseman tomorrow night? Is that when he will come for me? Before I became a Soul Rider, I would never have considered the possibility of ghost stories and nightmares being real. But that was before I realized that there are so many strange things happening right here in Jorvik, things that most people are completely unaware of. That was before my life changed forever. Now I don't know what to think anymore, but I have seen enough to know that I can't just dismiss the Headless Horseman as a bad dream. My hands are still shaking as I remove my glasses and rub my swollen, tired eyes. Outside the window, the sky is as dark as it was in my vision. A few dry fall leaves rustle in the wind. I shiver when I think about walking home alone in the dark, with the memory of the Headless Horseman so fresh in my mind that I can still hear the sound of the hoofbeats echoing. I wish I could be with my horse Meteor right now. Just stand there while he chews on some hay, pressing his large, warm body against mine. To me, that's security, my safe place. But Meteor is in the stable, and I'm sitting here in the school library miles away, so I have to make do with the next best thing when it comes to safety. Books. My steps echo in the empty library as I walk toward the shelf where all the books about Jorvik are gathered. I'm looking for a book that might explain my strangely lucid dreams about the Headless Horseman. Gingerly, I run my index finger over the spines. My finger stops on a hefty book with a promising title, Myths and Folk Tales from Jorvik. I take it off of the shelf, sneezing as the dust whirls around me. Must have been a while since someone read this one. Bringing the book back to the table, which is littered with stacks of books, empty soda cans, pencils, and candy wrappers, I randomly open it and start reading. Once upon a time, in the cold sea, lay a lifeless isle where darkness reigned. Nope, already know that one. I flip through the myths and tales, both known and unknown, until my gaze falls on an illustration of a black horse and a black-clad, headless rider. The headline reads, "The Legend of Galloper Thompson." My headless horseman. I've found him! At that exact moment, there is a knock on the window, and I swear I almost jump out of my own skin. I see a ghostly, pale face outside in the darkness, and I scream. But the face just laughs and breathes on the window, gathering mist. I let out a big sigh. Alex! Thank goodness. I pick up the book, gather my things, and leave the library. Why didn't you answer my calls? Alex asks when I exit the school building. I take my phone out of my pocket. Oh, right. I didn't hear it. I had the sound turned off. I was working on my essay. Or trying to, anyway. Essay schmessay. There are more important things in life, you know. Like deciding what costumes we should wear for the Halloween ride. Suddenly, my thoughts of the Headless Horseman seem distant. I find myself laughing. You're right, Alex. The ride is tomorrow. We should prepare. I consider telling her about my dream, but decide against it. Alex is so happy and excited, and I'd rather not think about Galloper Thompson right now. Alex sighs wistfully. I love Halloween. It's the one chance you have all year to be someone else. We stroll along on the cobbled streets, kicking at leaves as we discuss tomorrow's Halloween ride. The air is thick with the scent of soil and burning leaves. The moon emerges from behind a cloud as we turn onto my street. See you tomorrow, Alex says and hurries off. I stand there in the moonlight and listen to her steps fading away. And then I hear something else. The tapping sound of hooves against cobblestone. I turn around toward the noise, but all I see is the deserted street. And yet the sound continues. I still hear it echoing inside me when I unlock the front door and pet my cat, Misty, who comes up to me and presses herself against my leg. I already know what I'll dream of tonight. But first, I'm going to read more about the Headless Horseman. It's going to be a long night. I keep reading, but it becomes harder and harder to keep my eyes open. My head feels so heavy. Eventually, I plop down headfirst on my desk, onto the book, until my cheek rests against the worn and shiny paper. And I dream. In my dream, my head keeps falling, away from my body. It doesn't hurt, I think, in dull surprise. How could it not hurt? My head rolls and lands on the cobblestone with a thud. And now I see it. It's not my head at all, but a young man's head, framed by blonde, curly hair. His eyes are green, frozen in eternal terror. The angry mob standing around cheers as they lift their fists in the air. The head starts to roll again.